Welcome to Joa Fitness Health Wellness Video Podcast, a space to ignite your day through positive conversations. We bring people that have created excellence in their life, sharing high vibration in their reawakening path.
Hello everyone, my name is Joa Rivas. I'm here in the city of Toronto and I wanted to welcome you to the Joa Fitness Podcast. It's happening every Friday and I'm bringing information related to posture and anything related to this is actually very important for my life because I actually had scoliosis when I was 15 years old and I suffered of chronic back pain for 10 years. And after I was 25, my back got healed. But that doesn't mean I was 100% there. And I've been just searching about the connection between the jaw, the connection about the teeth, the connection about the tongue posture. And in the last series, I'm actually focusing on the connection on the feet and the posture. And I'm here with Dr. Andy Bryant. He's in the other side of the world in Melbourne, Australia. And I wanted to just chat with him for another occasion. This is the last time we're going to chat, and we're going to maybe bring him later on the year. So how are you, Andy? How is Melbourne?
I'm very well, thanks. And we're doing fine.
Yes, that's the positive attitude. He's a podiatrist. He is been working for 20 years in the industry on about relation of feet and the entire body. And he actually loves yoga. Do you actually practice yoga daily, Andy?
I do some, not actually go to classes every day, but I would do yoga every day in some shape or form. Yeah.
Exactly. Because yoga is not only about the asanas. Yoga is much deeper than that. It's the way how we behave, the way how we breathe, right? It's much deeper than only the asanas. So that's a good answer. We don't have to always be moving to be actually practicing yoga. And I'm actually a yoga teacher and Pilates teacher, so this is a very interesting topic for me because the relationship of our feet starts on the way how we stand, the way as we walk, and also even the shoes that we wear. And we have been chatting about the minimalist shoes. Is something like we probably don't feel familiar with because we always hear just shoes, but minimalist shoes are those shoes that make us our life much easier in a natural way. And we've been comparing the shoes, and I've actually been wearing the new shoes that I got, and I actually feel a difference at the gym. I have a great position for my toes, and I really like them so far. I don't have anything to say in a bad way, so I feel like they're helping me. Just 2 weeks practice with these shoes. I particularly love to walk barefoot. I love to work barefoot, but in the gym sometimes it's not completely clean. Something could just, just for cleanliness, I think they just don't allow you to walk barefoot. I try to do it on the grass when I can. And Andy, tell us a little bit more today about the toes. I've been seeing people wearing the separators of the toes, and even the yoga classes, they do that. I wanted to know the effectivity on these devices.
Well, thanks for having me again. So the toes should naturally, if you look at a baby's feet, they're widest at the tips of the toes, and then they taper from there. Whereas if we look at most of our feet, they're widest here, and then they get squashed like this because this is how most shoes are. And what's critically important is that the big toe is straight, because a straight big toe helps control the way the whole foot is moving and allows us to push off in a very strong and efficient way. And we gave up the ability to use our thumb on our foot, like this, opposing thumb, to be able to use a big toe to help us move forward and stand on 2 feet rather than be on all fours. And so it's a critical part of the foot that we have a straight big toe, and nearly all shoes push it sideways. And so some people, yes, they use toe spacers. There's these things that sit in between the toes and create that space. I think they're a very passive tool. They're good to use when you're sitting on the couch in the evening relaxing. And they're okay maybe in a yoga class, but I think if you're out walking or running or really doing heavy exercise, I'm not sure that they're that helpful. There's a little arch in our foot that's in here, and it's a very important arch. As we walk, it flattens and then springs back. It's across the ball of the foot. And if we're wearing the toe spacers, I don't know that arch really gets a chance to work because it's just being spread out all the time.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how functional they are. I think they're more of a passive tool to try and reclaim that splay that spreads out. And there's been studies done on blood supply, like when you have your toes spread out like this by toe spacers, there's better blood supply to your forefoot. It's stretching the muscles that are so used to being squished. So it's kind of reversing what normal shoes do. But I think there are far more powerful things to do than just wearing your toe spacers. And if you're in your high-heeled shoes with a squishy toe all day and then you wear these, it's counterproductive. Like it's not much point because you should just take away the high heel and the squishy toe, and then you don't need to wear these. I think that's more important than wearing these. So this is a passive tool, a bit like an orthotic, and it's not as long term as an orthotic, and you can be using it and it's helpful, but it's not the be all and end all to foot health.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about the socks that separate the toes? Anything about those?
So this is a bit more gentle, like this type is made of silicone. I think you can buy them on eBay for $3 or $4, or you could buy them from one of the bigger brands for $20 or $30, and they're all the same pretty much. And then there's another brand called Correct Toes, and they cost like 3 times as much. They're very expensive, but they're very gentle and they're finer, and so they might be more. They might be better to use for day-to-day use, like all day you could wear them. And similar with toe socks, even more gentle. They just create a little bit of space between your toes. That's what I wear most days, toe socks, to create this like allowing your feet to spread into the shoe that you're now wearing. And similar with the Correct Toes, they're a very good tool to wear for normal function, whereas these types are a bit more aggressive and more passive.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So you actually wear these socks?
I do, yeah. I wear them most days, yeah.
Oh,
I like them. I get very annoyed at socks now squishing my toes together. My feet are very sensitive to feeling squished. And in fact, the other day, my big toe burst out of a sock like that because it was so wanting to escape.
Wanted to escape. That's hilarious. Okay, I see. I think in my life I had only one pair of those socks with the toes, so maybe I should get more.
Yeah, so the most popular brand is Injinji, Injinji. I think it comes from a Japanese name, but there are many other brands as well. But Injinji toe socks are the most common brand.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna try to start testing those. And the separator, I used to use them before for some yoga classes. It was just for an hour, just during the yoga class. And I was doing also exercises to stimulate the toes, so like grabbing a towel and putting it to the side, or grabbing objects on different shapes with the toes.
So to do exercise, so one, to change your shoes so you're not squishing your foot, and then to do exercises that are encouraging the splay is far more powerful than wearing the toe splay. Like it's better, you know. It's like if I wanted to build my bicep, I could just hold it in this position and maybe it would get bigger. But if I actually moved it and was more functional, it would be a more functional muscle.
Okay.
And so similar with our feet. And so when we talk about toes pulling a towel towards us, what we really want is to create a long toe rather than a crunch like crunching your toes. We want our toes to be spread out and long against the ground. You know, if you're in Tadasana, mountain pose in yoga, we spread our toes and press them into the ground. That's the action we want to stimulate in our foot. So to claw them is not a helpful action. So we really want to be more spreading and pressing into the ground. Okay. The term I use is like a frog suckers, as though we've got little suction caps on the end of our toes. And we want to press that into the ground rather than curling like this. Oh, okay. Because when we curl, the muscles that are used aren't the ones we really want to switch on in our feet so much. They're already very strong. We want to switch on the ones that are just in the sole of our foot, that are about pressing our toes flat into the ground.
Okay. So what are the 3 mobility toes activities that we can practice during the day?
Yeah. So just, I do this every morning in the shower, which might be too much information, but I spread my toes and press them into the ground. And then I try and lift my big toe and then put it down again and lift my little toes and put them down again. And I just do this over and over again. And I think because it's become a habit, my whole body feels a bit awakened by this. But as you would know, we have this fascia on the sole of our body, and then it goes, on the sole of our foot, and it goes up the back of our legs, up through our bottom, up through the back of our back, up all the way onto our head here. This is the postural fascia. And I think even just moving our toes around is kind of pulling on it and waking our whole body up. Okay. And so I think just moving your toes around is powerful. It creates more strength within the foot. And then to be flexing the big toe. So to even just be standing there and moving the big toe through its full range of motion so that you can actually get some good mobility through it, because most shoes hold it in a very fixed position and it starts getting stiff. So moving that a lot would be another one. So spreading our toes and pressing them and moving them, and then moving your big toe into the ground, like standing up and pushing your big toe into the ground is another one. And then using a ball, a massage ball, like a lacrosse ball, something that is very firm, and rolling that on the sole of our foot while we're brushing our teeth, say, to try and open up the foot and get the toes moving and get the whole foot moving. Okay. Because most shoes make our foot very stiff.
Okay, yes, love that. So the three tips to mobilize your toes are, the first one is to actually spread your toes away from each other, lift your big toe and your little toes away from each other to actually lengthen the toes. And
the fascia and get them moving.
The second one is to actually stimulate the fascia of the entire body that starts on your feet. We can stimulate the big toe, just only
by pushing down through the big toe. Yeah.
And then the last one is actually to decompress the arch with a lacrosse ball.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yes, we do that. But of course, we got to start with the minimalist shoes, especially for those people that are walking and out there. Use your minimalist shoes, which are the flat shoes. If you want to know more about it, come back into 2 topics before, and you're going to actually hear Dr. Andy talking about the minimalist shoes. So we went through it for another 15 minutes. So thank you, Andy, for teaching us all this information. I love to have you because you bring great information for all of us. I think it's important to know. A lot of people have been telling me, oh, I didn't know people don't know what shoes to wear. Yes, actually, if you actually walk out now, you will see a lot of people wearing these very high heel shoes, these like pokey shoes, and they really don't know what they're doing to their feet. And they're just following a trend. It's good to follow a trend, but it's also good to know what's functional for our body and how much we're causing imbalance, especially those people suffering of calf, their tightness on the calf, even bunions and all these issues that come from shoes that are actually not the greatest for our feet. So thank you so much, Andy, for teaching us all this. Do you want to share anything else before we end the podcast today?
No, I think that's all. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to perhaps have you later during the year. And I wish you a great winter, right? You're entering into winter.
Well, we're coming out of winter. There's blossom coming on the trees. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So very soon spring will come.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Have a beautiful evening over there. And thank you, everybody. Remember that together we are stronger.
We invite you to subscribe to this channel and share with your community. Please leave comments below, and if you like the episode, click the like button. Have a beautiful day.